Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 14 to verse 17. Shabbat Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachak, double honors to our venerable apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone on down who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Haran coming back at you with a quick lesson, lowering and be edifying and uplifting unto the elect. And I have an article here I want to go into real quick. This is on the People's Voice. All right, and it's going into this so-called outbreak of this Ebola. All right, and it goes into how you have a virologist who's been caught smuggling Ebola pathogens, all right, from Congo into the U.S. All right, I believe it was either yesterday or today, the WHO declared the Ebola as a public health emergency of international concern. And we know what that means. Whenever they declare these things, understand that they're about to use it as part of their playbook. Okay, it's some just pulling a page out of their playbook, if you will. All right. So let's jump into this real quick. Again, this is just an alert, a heads up, if you will. All right, concerning the times that we're in. All right, these shouldn't be coming as surprises because we know who's working in the background, and we also know, all right, why they're doing the things they're doing, because it's all to fulfill biblical prophecy. Okay, so it says, top NIH Ebola researcher Vincent Munster. All right, his name is Munster, Munster. All right, you got when you go into a concept of nomen omens, all right, name prediction, a lot of people tend to behave like the names that they're given. Okay, so when you have a guy called Vincent Munster, all right, even though it's spelled with a U instead of an O, we understand that it's more of a play on words. All right, it's pronounced the same, so it carries a similar, if not the same, vibration. Right? So this Munster guy, a longtime Fauci collaborator and head of high-risk virus work at Rocky Mountain Laboratories, was caught at a U.S. airport attempting to bring undeclared pathogen samples from the Democratic Republic of Congo into America without proper permits or documentation. Now, this is a known person, right? He has ties to things that are, formally on the books, if you will, right? Like the NIH and so on and so forth. So it's a known thing, but why are you using funny tactics to do a job that is known to be a public thing, right? If you're doing research on viruses, which you shouldn't be doing that, only Esau does that. But anyway, if you're going to be doing that, at least you lie to people and tell them that that's what you're doing. Why don't you just follow the protocols like you normally would? What's with all this shady shit that's going on? Why are you sneaking things around across borders when we're dealing with so-called deadly viruses, man? What's going on with that? All right, that's why we read in the book of Proverbs, the 4th chapter, in the 16th verse, it says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief." Okay, they don't rest until they've caused ill upon people, man. Especially you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Why do you think they're always doing these tests out in Africa, man? Western parts of Africa and so on and so forth. Because they understand that the genetics are very closely matched. Okay, because the jakes that are over here in this land were brought from those parts of Africa, western parts of Africa. So Esau knows that we're the same people. All right, just divided us to conquer us, but we're the same people, man. All right, so if he's doing those tests in the western parts of Africa, why is that? Why is he not doing that in China? Right? Why isn't he doing that in Europe? Why is it always Africa? They go into these African countries and they do these things. Right? I believe the president of Burkina Faso, right? Just remember that finally. Shurare, all right, he just kicked out Gates and them. He said, "Yo, you're not gonna be using our country as experiments, and we have no say in that. If biotech companies want to come in here and do these experiments, it's gonna have to go through us. right? We got to give you the permission to come into our land and do your tests. Gone are the days where you just get up and you come into a country and you say, oh, in the name of goodwill, oh, we're here to keep you safe. So nah, fuck out of here, man. The world knows who you are now. You've been exposed as a devil. All right. You have no good intentions for humanity. And you lay out the pride that you have, you lay out all your plans out, bro, in the daylight. Like people are too stupid to put the pieces together, right? It says the FBI is now investigating the shocking biosecurity breach. While the mainstream media buries the scandal, the Huda has rushed to declare the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and Uganda a public health emergency of international concern. Let's see where this goes. Officials report around 300 suspected cases, dozens confirmed, and at least 88 deaths, mostly in eastern DRC, Ituri province, with travel-linked spread into Uganda. This rare strain has no approved vaccines or therapeutics and is exploding in a chaotic conflict zone near porous borders. Coincidence or another chapter in the same pandemic playbook? Well, it says, according to whistleblower accounts and investigative reporting, Monster and at least one colleague were stopped with a protective case full of patient-derived pathogen samples collected in the DRC. They lacked the required permits for transporting these high-risk materials. The samples reportedly included the MP virus, a select agent, though questions remain about other contents given Monster's deep work on Ebola and filoviruses in the exact regions now seeing this outbreak. Very interesting. Very interesting. And we got to do a whole investigation to find out. Oh well, maybe there's some type of correlation here. We got to do a whole investigation on that. We got to give them a chance to go on stage and do the whole theatrics and never answer questions whenever they're asked. We got to do all that shit. Grab these people up and throw them in a dungeon somewhere and light their asses up, man. All right? You pour some kerosene. This is how I view these evil, wicked demons. And if we had the ability to live life in a righteous society, we will be making examples out of all these wicked ass demons that are running around here. They've left hell. Hell is empty. And they out here on earth terrorizing people, man. In the name of safety and blah, blah, blah bullshit. Nobody asked you niggas for this. All right? No one asked Gil Bates to be in the front of so-called public health. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we need to create more Vanessas, better Vanessas, people's health. Nobody asked you for that. Okay? Fauci, nobody asked you for that. All these people, Tedros Ghebreyesus, nobody asked you niggas for your input on how they want to live their lives when it comes to health. Okay? Because we know a lot of these diseases, if not most, if not all, that are out here today is all pushed and created by the biotech pharmaceutical companies. Just like Gaddafi said years ago, he said they create the viruses and then they sell you the antibodies. That's what they do. Remember, this is all a business. Disease and germ warfare is a business. Viruses is a business. That's why you have biotech companies that invest in these viral tests and labs and so on and so forth. Because if you're able to create a virus, right? They show you that in the show. What's it called? Dystopia? Something Dystopia. Damn. And it had I think his name is John Cusack. That's his name. Let me see if I can pull it up. Something Dystopia. John Cusack. I think the name of the movie is Dystopia. Let's see. Dystopia? Let's see. Utopia. There you go. That's the name. Utopia. Okay, which is really a dystopia, but it's, again, they always invert, right? So, in the show Utopia, he actually goes into that, how they created the viruses and how they manipulated with the media and all this stuff, and then the scientists, and then they pitch it, and it's all an agenda. And they're all part of it. They're all part of it. The Hollywood niggas is all part of it. The fucking so-called doctors that they play their role, they're all part of it. The presidents, all these people that come together and make all this scene on stage and make it see, oh my goodness, it's all a stage, man. They have cameras that produce these things. They have people that wear these hazmat suits, and then they wait on cue to be told, all right, action, and then they do it. And they make it seem like it's real. I mean, come on, man. Shit's crazy, bro. Anyway, keep going. It says, the samples reportedly included, I read that, HHS referred the case to the FBI, yet Monster and his wife, Emmy DeWitt, also an NIH Ebola coronavirus researcher, remain listed in directories with no immediate public firing because the public doesn't know about these things. They only react when it starts gaining attention. Then they act like, oh shit, we gotta we gotta fix this. Nah, they don't care. All right, that's why they invest billions of dollars in the media to deceive people, because if you don't know the truth, there will be no outrage. And if they can control the narrative, then they'll keep you at a certain position and control you constantly. That's why they have the media there. See, we are a problem for them because we tell it as it is. All right, we don't sugarcoat anything. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We tell you how it is, man. And it's up to you, it's up to the Lord to open up your mind and your spirit to receive these things and realize the truth for what it is. Okay? You still got people today who do videos, right? Oh man, they do videos just to combat what we say. And the most they normally would attack is, oh, why can't the so-called white man can't make it? That's just like, bro, do you see what's going on? I mean, at some point you have to put two and two together. Do you see what's going on? Do you see the state of the world right now? Life ain't fun now, is it? And who's causing all of this shit? And little did you know, it's about to get even worse. Okay? Remember, DJT, as a matter of fact, let's just prove it. Why not? How many EOs, which is executive orders, has Trump signed? Let's read. Listen to this shit. This nigga here. All right. So from DJT 45 to now DJT 47, across his both presidential terms, DJT has signed a total of 479 executive orders. 479. He puts Obama to shame. This includes 220 executive orders issued during his first term and 259 executive orders signed during his second term. And his second term ain't even done. He's just been in a year. Okay? It says his second term began with a historic surge of activity. He signed 143 orders in his first 100 days and 230 within his first year, heavily focused on immigration, tariffs, and government reform. What is that all about? Immigration goes into what they've been pushing for so long. They got the Real ID over here, but his main thing that he ran on back in 2016, 2017 was the biometric visa exit entry system, which we need desperately. Remember that? Right. So that's on his agenda. And he's not the one who's pushing all this. They are, when I say they, the ones who control him are the ones who telling him, you're going to go out there, you're going to do it this way, you're going to do it that way, and we go from there. Okay? So immigration, tariffs, right? What came out of those tariffs? High inflation. Okay? From last year to now, high inflation. All right? And it says what? And of course, government reform. They're reshaping the government. You notice it's when he went to China, all right, he didn't take no real government officials, if that makes sense, right? He took all these technocrats with him. The people that are saying that they're going to put the C-hip in your brain, and the people that are making the C-hips that's going to go into your brain. The NVIDIA nigga and then the Neuralink nigga. They were all there. The Apple niggas. Apple's also joining in that whole realm of C-hip and brains and shit, turning your phone, your smartphone into your smart brain and all this dumb shit, right? Always talking about some artificial intelligence without any actual intelligence. We nobody got time for this stupidity, okay? This folly, this madness. Esau just always want to go around pushing this dumb shit with no research, no real concrete proof that it's actually going to be good. Why? Because he's the man of wickedness, man. Man of sin. What else what more do you expect from a nigga like that? Right? And when you go into ancient customs and cultures, they all know Esau to be the nigga who's the devil of this earth, man. Everybody knows that. That's why you did so much work during the Renaissance to hide your true identity. But unfortunately for you, the truth is here. All right. It says, Monsters Lab at Rocky Mountain Labs conducts BSL-4 research on the world's deadliest viruses. Okay? The world's deadliest viruses. They're not, King Philip, Prince Philip, whatever. Did he not say that if he had a chance to die and come back, he would come back as a virus? Right? As a pandemic, as a virus, as a plague, to wipe out the majority of the people? So when you got niggas like this, whose name is Monster, and he's dealing with highly, deadly viruses, I mean, hey, you'd be smart to want to investigate that a little bit more. We know the FBI is just incompetent. They don't do shit. I mean, they can nigga call Cash Patel who can't see from. Anyway, let's keep going. He has extensive field experience in Africa studying bat viruses, Ebola ecology, and emerging threats. Why are they so invested in shit like this? Why are they taking so much money, billions of dollars, investing in things like what do you need to study Ebola for? What is that gonna do for you? Oh, we need to study all these viruses. CDC, Center for Disease Control. Then they put prevention, but there ain't no P in there. So it's just letting you know they're not there to prevent shit. They're there to create. They're there to control these viruses, man. Okay? And control the minds of people as they roll these things out. It says, critics say this incident exposes the dangerous reality of, quote, research pipelines that ship samples across continents with sloppy oversight. This smuggling bust happened right before the current Ebola outbreak surged into international headlines. Now the WHO is sounding the global alarm on the very region Monster was operating in. Oh, but there is no investigation on that. Oh, it's no coincidence whatsoever. It just, or I should say there is a coincidence. Oh, it's just a coincidence. There's nothing linked. Right? It couldn't have possibly been him and his people playing around with shit, releasing things, and now, boom, we got this so-called deadly outbreak of Ebola going on in Africa somewhere. And we know it's coming over here because, remember, years ago we kept saying Ebola gonna come back. What's the other one? They had another one that was shrinking brains and shit, causing children to have encephalitis. Let me see. Encephalitis. There was Zika. That was the name of it. Zika virus. Yeah, that was what was causing encephalitis, which was inflammation of the brain. Right. So anyway, so continuing, it says here, it says, yet instead of full transparency from NIH and HHS, we're seeing the usual playbook: downplay, deflect, and memory hold the domestic failure while hyping the overseas crisis. It's all about fear. Okay, cause hysteria. It's going to cause people to comply, and that's what Larry Ellison has been pushing, and also the other Larry Fink. All right, they always pushing this whole behavior control shit. Right, but disease X might be here, man. All right, people are hantavirus. Now you got Ebola. You know what I'm saying? Disease X, right? X marks the spot, right? X marks the spot. Okay, so back to what I was saying. You got these clowns talking about behavior change. Behavior. We must change behavior. We must. What did Ellison say? He said the citizens will be on their best behavior. Yo, like, what do you mean by that, man? The citizens are going to be on their best behavior. Like, it's like a parent talking to children, like, you're going to be on your best behavior when we go there today. Like, it's like, yo, man. And people just allow this shit. Like, they tell you, oh, you own nothing and you be happy with a nigga smiling on it. It's like, oh, yeah, it's all good, It's just a conspiracy theory, haha. Yo, citizens will be on their best behavior. That just keep that in mind. In the next few months, when they start unrolling this AI draconian police state bullshit, all in the name of safety and keeping people safe and all this, but you're gonna see You're gonna have to be on your best behavior. In other words, you shut up and comply or else. That's what they mean by you're gonna be on your best behavior. It says, it says key questions the public deserves immediate answers to, which they're not gonna get, right? Because the public doesn't have any power. Okay? They don't have any power. They're controlled. Every reaction is a psychological reaction. All right? It's all psyops. It's not organic reactions anymore. Okay? You react how they want you to react, when they want you to react, and so on and so forth. At what they want you to react at or to. Okay? Especially here in America, man. Today I was doing a job. I'm like, damn, like, look at all the things that's going on in this world. And you got customers, you got people saying, oh, what games they got on today? I know he's just going on and on and on. I'm just like, yo, bro, shut up, man. It's Sunday morning, bro. Shut up. Damn. He's like, what they got going? They got baseball today? Oh, what's going on with the NBA? Are they with the finals yet? Or maybe we could watch hockey later. I'm like, bro, like, you just had knee surgery. You could barely walk, and all you care about is sports. There's real life shit going on in this world. I'm sure you went to a gas station not too long ago, and you don't have no complaints. That's normal to you. These people are gone, man. They're gone. All right, they're gone, and all this shit that's going on around the world, and they still have no idea what the hell is going on, or pretend not to know. You know, my mother told me yesterday, and she never said this before. She said, you know, you were right when you said Trump this time he's not going to be the same. I said, yeah, but we told you this. She said, no, listen. She said, I'm at the point in life. This is the first time in my life where every time I think about what's actually going on in this world, I genuinely become afraid. Like, I'm scared of the reality of what this guy can do. Right? And I was like, it's interesting. That's a different approach. I never heard her say some shit like this before. And then she said, like, it's a feeling of, like, she said, it's a deep, intense feeling of, I can't explain what it is per se, but I have this feeling of dread. Like, this guy is going to lead us to a place we don't want to go to. And I said, when you say us, you mean like the country, right? She said, yeah, you know what I mean. I said, okay, Con, you say us, like we're going to listen to it. You saying, nah, no, you know, but when she said that, I explained to her, I said, yeah, well, that's Isaiah 19, right? The Lord is, you're noticing Trump's countenance is changing, and his words and his verbiage is changing. It's gone completely from getting the support of MAGA to now, look, hey, we're doing great things. I don't care what the American people are going through and their finances and all that, as long as Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons. Well, Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons. They don't plan to have any nuclear weapons. So what are we doing here? Oh, the gas price is going to go up. It's going to go down, like it's going to drop like a rock, like a stone, like a rock. It's going to just drop. I don't know. Once the war is over, 4 weeks, it's going to be over. Are you winning yet? Yeah, you so much winning. Oh, Mr. President, so much winning. Oh, yeah. Anyway, it says, were any of the smuggled samples connected to strains circulating in the current outbreak zone? How many other NIH-linked researchers are moving deadly pathogens into the U.S. without paperwork? A ton, a whole bunch. And they catch them and it's like nothing ever happens. There's no investigation. There's no follow-up. It doesn't become real public mainstream information for people to really scrutinize it and have their questions. And no, they don't do that. They don't do that. And you should question why. It says, why the cover-up and foot-dragging on the Munster investigation while rushing the fake declaration? This isn't isolated. It fits a disturbing pattern of gain-of-function experimentation. That's exactly what it is. Lab safety lapses, origin, cover stories, and agencies that demand blind trust after years of proven deception. That's very well said. They're very well put together, man. Going all the way back to the AMA. And you still have people who still believe on pharmaceuticals. They can talk, oh, I do this and I do that. Let something serious happen to them. Next thing you know, they're calling for a doctor. I got to go to the doctor. Oh, man, I'm not feeling too good. I almost died. They lose complete faith in the Lord, complete faith in the herbs that were there before petroleum-based so-called medicines, man. People completely have lost that, man. It says the same network has that shaped the CV response with Fauci holdovers still embedded at NHS and HHS now faces fresh scrutiny. Americans are right to ask whether public health research is actually making us safer or feeding a perpetual cycle of outbreaks, fear, and control. Border security for pathogens matters. Real lab oversight isn't optional. Ending the bioweapons adjacent racket disguised as science is long overdue. Well, you don't need to get any agency to do anything for you. It's the more you believe it, the more it works. So if Americans will start to wake up, which most of them are not going to wake up, that's what they're going to end up taking the C here. But if they were to wake up, they'll put two and two together and be like, oh shit, da da da. But you know what? When you really think about it, a lot of people have woken up. But yet, prophecy still has to play out anyway. Just because you woke up to who you are and woke up to the truth doesn't mean when the heat is turned up, you're not going to get cooked on it. You understand? Right. So if you're not of the elect in the times that we're about to enter into, understand you're going to fall by the wayside. You're going to fall for the deception. You're going to fall for, look, you got a lot of people today, right now in the year 2026 that are still wearing masks. They out of there. They out of there, bro. I don't know how many boosters they got, but they out of there. You have today, and on the other side, you have today, people who took the jump shot back in 2020, 2021, and they regret doing that. And when you ask them, it's kind of like, oh, man, I did it, but I didn't want to. So why did you do it? If you didn't want to, why did you do it? See, those are the kind of people that talk loud, but when the shit happens, they cower. Okay? When the shit go down, they the ones who are gonna, you don't want to be around people like that. Oh man, we ain't gonna lay down for the government. We ain't gonna do this, man. We outside. Da, da, da. That shit go down. They the ones who gonna be telling you, yo, man, make sure you wear your mask. Oh, you better go get your jump shot, man. Make sure. I mean, I know people that took the jump shot on some, like, when you think about the reason why they did it, you be like, bro, it's just funny. You just laugh like, really? Oh, I took my mom to the hospital to go take it. So while I'm sitting in the car, yo, let me go take mine. I'm like, that's stupid. Oh shit, that's crazy. You're playing Russian roulette like that. That's wild. That's what America will do for you. It makes you careless, right? It makes you careless. It makes you not accountable for shit. It makes you not responsible. It makes you not, cognizant of your surroundings, of your words, of your everything you do. America just pushes this nonchalant attitude, like, oh, don't worry about it. Somebody else is gonna worry about it for you. Just don't care about it. Just keep on living life. Worry about sports. Worry about gambling on. What's these new gambling thing they got going on? Sports gambling shit that they got. What's that shit called? Let me see. DraftKings. They got other ones. Price Picks. What's the other ones? They got a whole bunch of them. And it's just all to what? To distract you from real life situations that's actually affecting your real life. I've never seen anything like this before. But anyway, it says, we've seen this movie before. The question is whether anyone is in power will finally face accountability before the next emergency locks us down again. Until the people wake up and hold these people accountable, you're going to sit there and think FBI going to do it, CIA going to do it. No, they're part of the plan. Okay? They're part of the plan. Their role is to make it seem like they're there to hold other places accountable. No. Their job is to hold you accountable, to control you. Okay? You notice one person could do something and the very next day a politician could do the same exact thing. And the person who did the exact thing that the politician did, they're going to be framed, demonized, completely destroyed in the media. But the politician is like nothing ever happens to them. It's like it just goes unspoken of. Prime example would be this David kid, D4VID kid, whatever. And the story is very blurry to me about how, he murdered some chick that he was dealing with and she was underage and so on and so forth. And now it finally came out and blah, blah, blah. It's a very murky story. But the same things that he's being accused of, you have a class of people, they call them the Epstein class. And they're being accused of all these things. And there's evidence of them doing these things. And yet they get to walk around scot-free. Get the fuck out of here, bro. We don't want to hear shit from none of you niggas. All you Babylonians are all hypocrites and you deserve everything that's coming to you. Okay? Everything that's coming to you. And do not come on our comment boards to talk your shit because the Lord's going to get you. All right? It says the question is whether anyone in power will finally face accountability before the next emergency locks us down again. Stay alert. Demand answers. The official narrative is crumbling under the weight of its own contradictions. You just got to pay attention. All right, you just got to pay attention. But hey, the Lord talked about diseases, famines, right? Pestilences, okay? So we are in those times, man. And these devils have done their research. They've studied up on how to depopulate the earth, okay? And they use tactics that the Lord will use. Famine, that's a big way to depopulate, right? Plagues, that's a very big and efficient way to depopulate by the millions, if not the billions, in a very short time, okay? You just put it out there and let it spread and it'll do its thing. And that's exactly what I believe they're about to do. Disease X is already out, okay? It's already out. Let's get this last one here. We're going to close it out. There's a book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. It says here, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Okay, so when you know the prophecies, that's why it tells you in Isaiah 33 and 6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord is his treasure. Right? When you understand the events of prophecy, the sequence of prophecy, you're at peace. Okay, you're at peace. Though, yeah, we're going through the same things the world is going through. We're comforted because we understand what's going on, why it's happening, and what's to come after that. The rest of the world, they're going through the same things, but they have no idea. And that is one of the worst positions to be in a state of emergency where your mind is always racing, but you have no clue what's actually going on. That's trouble. That's a troubled mind right there. Okay? The time of Jacob's trouble. That's a troubled mind right there. Just not having mental stability alone in a time of chaos, that's going to lead to a lot of people being dead, man. Just that alone. It don't got to be no virus, don't got to be no gunshot. No. Just you being unstable, mentally unstable, for whatever reason, in a time of chaos, we're going to see some shit soon. All right. But anyway, I'm going to end off there. Lord willing, you edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachakodash, the water Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. And until next time, Shalom.